and I mean, yeah, for me, I think just like home is not necessarily like a place specifically, but just like if I'm with my mom in a cool place, that's home. Or if I'm with my dad with a cool place, it's home. Or if I'm with roommates, friends in a cool place, that's home. Yeah, like just somewhere I'm comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where was the last time you felt the home? Home.
I don't know. I mean, actually, here, like again, I feel like there was a point, like at first when you like arrive to a new place and it feels like a hotel, it's like odd,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's like home when you go back after a vacation, like you get to your home and there's like this sense of like okay, but again, like after traveling so much, it's like you start to get used to it, and after like 2-3 days of being in the same place, it's like I don't know, you no longer feel uncomfortable, so you just are always like
Yeah.
chill, like as far as yeah. But I mean, yeah, probably here, honestly.
How much is it connected to Colombia? Like that feeling, like kind of native.
Oh, I don't like Colombia.
Hmm?
I don't like Colombia.
At all? You don't have any emotional connection there?
I feel like I have a rejection. Like I kind of like push it away because I don't know. I feel like so many of the bad things that have happened to me happened because of it's like a third world country, so it's like poor, so it's like so many disadvantages. And then when I moved to the U.S. and I saw like so much richness, so much abundance, so much like people are so much chill. I feel like in Colombia, since it's like like a third world country, like poor, everyone's like always like on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I didn't feel at home at Colombia. Like I didn't connect with the people too much. But yeah, like so when I went to the U.S. or when I'm traveling or something, it's like I feel more at home. Like I don't like I wanted to escape Colombia, so to speak. Yeah.
What about the relatives you have there?
I've actually never been much of a family person. Like, I mean, I just consider like my mom, my dad, my grandma, and my cousins. And yeah, but I was never like a person, because I know some people that like talk. It's like all their grandmas and all their cousins because it's just two for me. And for me, it's just them. And I also feel like nowadays in 2024, you have like phones. So if I miss my dad, I can just like talk to him, like call him or a video call or yeah, that's like enough for me.
Mm-hmm. You don't need to go there. You don't need to go there, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, like I'm Colombian, I'm unhappy, and I'm just like sad versus out there. I'm happy, and then I can like talk to my dad with the happiness, with the enthusiasm of like, hey, today this happened to me, all the crazy stories that happen. Yeah.
Okay, tell me that. When did you start, like when you left Colombia, and why exactly you left? Like what was the main motivation, and what changed it in your life in this way? Like, yeah, as a human, you need to like be a part of some social group at some point, right? So how did it affect to your story of living in Colombia?
So, okay, well, I'm gonna answer the first part, which was like, why did I leave Colombia and how was that? So the first time I left Colombia, and I was like 15, I went to the U.S. and that was just because of my mom. But then, like, sort of the last time that I've left, which is so now, I left Colombia like for sure. Like I never want to go back. I mean, just for vacation maybe eventually, but that was like a year and a half ago, and yeah, again, I was just like very depressed. I remember like I was very depressed in my room. And I was like, God, universe, like whatever, like please give me like a sign or something, because like if I want to kill myself, if I just stay here, because in Colombia, I felt like in Colombia I actually had like no social life. In Colombia I had like no friends.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like in my room doing nothing, like the whole day, just like on the computer, wasting away. And I was like, I feel like I need to push something to like go and do something. And yeah, I got the chance to go to Malta, and it was scary, but it was so cool because again, and this country is like European, yeah, it's like I earn minimum wage, but then with the minimum wage, it's like I can, have fun, because that was the thing. Like in Colombia, they didn't have much money to go out and meet people or like have any sort of fun. Just I could stay at home. But in Europe, like I was able to have an apartment, and I lived with roommates, and then these roommates like were like, they became like my best friends. And so I feel like I actually, yeah, in Colombia I had like no social life, and then now that I've been like moved out of Colombia, now it's like I'm living a life, of like what you would expect of like, like having friends and a girlfriend and all this sort of stuff. Because I was like a very shy kid in Colombia, and I was like, fuck it, I don't want to be still shy, but I want to like go out and do something.
Yeah. What about your mother?
So with her, she's like also traveling like along with me, like everywhere. So actually, when I came to Europe, she had also never traveled to Europe, and I remember there's one thing. She's like really a believer of like manifestation and all these sorts of stuff, like sort of praying, but not to like a god, but to like universe and stuff. And I remember when I was like little, she would be like, no, you have to believe in manifestation. Like, believe me, like, she would tell me like, when you're older, we're going to be like travel around the world and we're going to meet each other and you're going to see that it's going to be true. And I was like, yeah, sure, mom. Yeah, sure. Like, I'm going to go to Europe because, it's so expensive. Like, and we're going to be traveling, and it just sounded like a fantasy. But now look. So when we came to Europe, we actually both took the same plane from Colombia to Spain. And then we stayed there 3 days. And then from Spain, I went to Malta, which was where I lived a year and a half. And then she went to Italy or something. And then she like traveled, and then like we met, and that's how essentially we're doing, like what she had said as a little. Like we would all travel Europe, and I would be there like doing my thing, she would be here doing her thing. And then occasionally we meet like, I don't know, let's meet in France, or let's meet in this other place, or because I feel like she was the one who taught me the passion for traveling. Because even as little, we would, she would take me to like hostels around Colombia, and I've always been traveling with her, even since I was little. And now it's just like continuation of that, but now in Europe.
Yeah. How is it like when you have hardest times? You have it, obviously, right? Sometimes the hard time really, and you want to feel like, I don't know, maybe mom or dad or someone like shelter, human is a shelter, or environment is shelter where you would feel better, like when you have that breakdowns, what is the place that you imagine that I want to be there because it would make me feel better?
I feel like I've always been like a very lonely person and like independent. Like I hate being dependent on other people. So even like when I just get sad, I just like deal with it myself. Even though that's probably not the healthiest thing. So yeah, in Colombia, I would just like shut myself in my room and then deal with it. And like being outside, same. Like I feel like I connect with people only when I'm happy.
Hi guys.
I feel like I connect with people only when I'm happy. Like when I'm sad, it's just like I avoid people. Actually, there was the first day.
Guys, when you pass inside, can you close the lights also?
There was actually the first day I came to Turkey. It was actually bye. The first time I came to Turkey, it was fucking horrible. Like I remember, I had to sleep in the airport, and then my bags got lost, and then I was feeling pretty depressed because I had to leave Malta. So I had to leave. I feel like Malta was like I considered my home because I lived there for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And by that point, I built up my social life. I have a group of friends, like best friends. I even had a girlfriend. It was comfortable, it's like I already knew it. I knew, I don't know, my favorite chips in the supermarket. I knew like everything. It was just like, that's home. And so then the first day I remember like feeling a little bit like tense, and then also I remember I was just feeling horrible. And then I remember thinking like shit, if for whatever reason like everything goes horrible in Turkey, like it's not like I can buy a ticket anywhere, because I actually can't go back to Malta for 3 months because of visa issues, and I don't want to go back to Colombia. So it's like if everything goes horrible in Turkey, like if I absolutely hate Turkey, like there's nowhere I can go. That was actually kind of like a horrible feeling. But then again, I just remember like thinking like, okay, Sebastian, like calm down. Again, like home is not necessarily like like I can. That's also one thing I learned. Like I can suffer anywhere. I can suffer anywhere. I can make myself.
Yeah.
I can find heaven or hell in any place whatsoever, or in anyone. So I was like, no, calm down. It was just a bad day. And then after that, like, yeah, Turkey has been great, and I've been like happy here. And yeah, and again, it was just coming back to that realization that like, home isn't necessarily Malta, or home isn't necessarily Colombia, but just like no man, like you're in Turkey, enjoy Turkey, like enjoy it for what it is. Sure, it doesn't have your favorite chips, but it's like it might have other things. Now it has baklava, so like now just enjoy baklava for while you have it. Yeah, because I feel like always people are like the grass is greener on the other side. It's like, oh, I miss my home when they did this, and then when they go back, it's like, oh, I miss in this other place when they did this, or yeah.
What is your home now? Like, you're living this place, it's not the home anymore, but what is, like, the home which will be always a home, like, which won't change?
Yeah, I have no clue. Sure. I just try to like, again, the next place that I go, I'll try to make it a home. But yeah, I feel like I have no home. But then that's also why I, like, after I wait for the 3 months of like the visa issues, I want to find a place to like live, because I do want, like, yeah, like, again, while I say all this hippie stuff of like, home is in your heart or whatever, like I do want to have like a place where like, again, like where I sort of build that again, like in Malta I already did it with like having like my group of friends and like sort of knowing a place. And after here I do want to find a place. What is it? I don't know. And it's kind of a lot of pressure because I have to choose like the perfect place, it's like I can see myself going anywhere, like France or Norway or even Asia, or I don't know, I could see myself going anywhere. So now it's a point of choosing where, like, for what jobs can I get, or the people. One of the things I've been trying to look for is or that I've noticed more is the people, because I feel like every country, every place you could possibly go to is gonna have bars, gonna have people, gonna have food, and so now it's just deciding. I don't know, the culture.
Only thing it's not changing is you.
Yeah. And again, like thankfully with this, we always have like our families and with the phone, we always have like our families and our friends like available at any point. So yeah, if I ever feel sad or whatever, I can call my mom, or if I ever have good news, I know I can always call my mom or my dad, or yeah. And I mean, worst case scenario, I can still buy a ticket to Colombia or to wherever my mom is, or
do you consider it in a worst case scenario?
I haven't thought about much, but I've just thought like I've always have this like credit card with like a big coupon, and I just think like I'll decide at the moment, whatever feels right. I feel like I'm very moment to moment. So if that comes, I'll just sit down and be like, okay, where do I want to go now? Like, what's the best possible option for me?
And you said it can be your mom's place or the Colombia.
Yeah, but Colombia, no, like that'll be like last resort, like something horrible happening or something really good happening. I don't know, the government like immensely changing in Colombia, or AI taking over Colombia and making it an utopia. But I don't think that's gonna happen soon. So.
Okay, that's the last. What is it before the last? You said that that's the last. But the before, what is it? Your mom?
So my mom would probably be the first, or just anywhere, like probably just looking on my computer for some cool ass Airbnb and then resting there for a little bit, because I also like architecture, giving me beautiful places, or like a volunteer.
Tell me the most terrible experience, home experience, like where did you feel like not home, like the worst, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like I've had that experience in all of the countries that I've been to. I feel like I've been like really uncomfortable and totally unwelcome, and I've had experiences in Colombia and the US, and because again I feel like sometimes I'm like an introvert, so I feel like sometimes like I don't connect with people as well as I would like to, but it's a thing I've learned. And again, I feel like it can happen anywhere, that sense of disconnection, and it's happened to me everywhere. Yeah. Like not really in a specific place. And same, I've had like really good times.
Example, where you needed to live, but you didn't feel it as home at all.
One example that's coming to my head, well, first the first week that I came to Turkey, that I was like, I'm gonna be living in Turkey for the next month, and it was horrible. But then aside from that, I feel like it's always at the start. Like also the first like 2 weeks when I moved to the US, when I was 15, I remember going to like a supermarket, and then what? And then like feeling like a horrible sense of what did they call it? Not homesickness, but when you come to a place and you realize that their culture is very different, and it like makes you uncomfortable. Because I remember I was in the U.S. in a supermarket, and then I saw a black towel, and I said, so in Colombia when I was a kid, there was like this joke that he would say the N-word, like for objects, just as a joke. And I feel like in Colombia the N-word doesn't have like as much significance as it does in the U.S. And so I looked at it and I was like, the N-word towel. And then, but with the actual word. And then, like, I remember a woman looking at me like super offended. And then immediately, like, I realized, like, oh shit, right, like here in the U.S., this word does have like an actual, like, horrible meaning, and I just like horribly offended this woman. And it was like, like all my ideas of what is right or wrong are like different from them, from like this place. And I just remember feeling like that. Oh no, I just want to go back to Colombia, like, where everything is familiar, where everything is what I know. But again, after like 2-3 weeks, like 1 month, after getting used to it and meeting people and, maybe trying to consider these things that are like different, it was fine. I got used to it. Yeah. And so I feel like it's a cultural shock. Culture shock, yeah. I feel like I've always had culture shocks. Or even when I arrive in like a different hostel or hotel, it's like, you sort of see the vibe and then hopefully it's good. And yeah.
So you felt like you don't belong there. You did not belong there.
Yeah, it was like, oh, these people are so different from me, but then again, you get used to it. But I feel like I've always had that. Like, again, I'm like an introvert, so I feel like I don't really connect with people well. I feel like I always feel like out of place, even in school, like I didn't talk much with people. But what's funny is I realized, like, people would accept me, but I would be the one pushing them away, actually, which is interesting,
Yeah.
So I feel like I have the superpower of hating everywhere I go. But I'm trying to change it.
Hating everywhere or everyone?
Everywhere and everyone also, yeah. Like both. Like, like the people and the place, yeah, like it's...
Really? That was the last thing I could imagine about you. Wow.
Yeah. I feel like I isolate myself a lot. But yeah, people don't usually notice it, and it's like, sometimes when I tell people someone I'm introverted, they're like, what? You're like super like talkative. And I'm like, no. Like in my head, it's a totally different thing from what you see. I mean, it's hard to explain it.
Yeah. Okay, last one. Let's say, where do you imagine? Like you said that you might go anywhere, right? Like Asia, whatever. But what's the type of the settlement that you imagine? That we all think at some point that after, I don't know, when I get old or whatever, I want to have that, or anyways, if you consider like forever settling, somewhere, and how do you imagine that, like how the place or people looks like there, or what kind of people you need around, or what kind of place where you will spend like rest of your life after some time, of course, not right now.
Yeah, I've always had the dream that I want like 2 sort of homes. One, I want like a home like in a city, like like in New York, like Paris, like big ass city, where I can just like walk downstairs and boom, be in the middle of a street full of everything, because I'm kind of lazy. So if I have like if I need to take like a 1-hour bus to get somewhere fun, it's like I don't like it. I like to just come down and boom, have everything fun right there, where it's, and then if I'm in the bar for 1 hour and then I get bored, I can just walk upstairs and boom, be at home. So I feel like I want one like there, like in a big city, big rich city with like so many friends from everywhere around the world and stuff like that. And then 2, since I'm also kind of introverted, I would like to have like a house like in the middle of the woods, like in the middle of nowhere, because in Colombia I lived in like a house in the middle of like the mountains. It was like 1 hour away in the car by road, from like 2 hours away from the closest city and everything, and it was so fucking cool. Like I don't know, I just kind of like this sense of being in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by forest, by nature, where I could just like walk around. And same, like I could walk around and I just walk around the mountain forever. We had 4 dogs, and sometimes I would just like follow them, like let them take me wherever they wanted to take me, and I don't know, it was like a cool experience, yeah. And then, like I like those types of 2 different aesthetics, like the big city and the like forest, like the winter or whatever. And yeah, I feel like the city would be like my, for when I'm feeling social, like you like have a ton of friends, like big group of friends and a girlfriend or whatever, and then just have like a home where like maybe, yeah, like I can invite people over, with my theoretical wife or girlfriend or whatever, living there, like, and like dogs, you know. Yeah, that'd be the dream. And then I've also always thought that I'll know when I make it when I have a theater at the house. I remember I just went to this place that had like Airbnb that had like an cinema, like a small room with like cool sofas and a projector and like this cool ass audio system. And I feel like that's expensive, and so like when I know I'll make it when I can afford one of those and make it with like the best audio system and the best like projection thing and the yeah.
Interesting thing is that the home that you mentioned, like which you want to be in the forest or in mountains, whatever. It sounded quite similar at the Colombian home where you lived, right?
Yeah. That's the only place where I've like had that experience. Yeah.
So you think that it's like deeply in your mind, it's still your home, like deeply in your mind, if you still want to be in Colombia, like in your childhood home? Because it sounded pretty much like this, right?
The memory of the place, like more so than the actual place, because I mean, and again, it was like just that happy moment in like that house in Colombia. But I feel like that, like house could be anywhere, like, and maybe even somewhere better, because again, with the euro, I could probably find like a better house in France or in the French Alps or I don't know somewhere. Because again, like I thought about it, maybe having a thing in Colombia, but I don't know, I don't like it. Maybe because maybe you'll be driving your car and you'll get robbed or I don't know. There's just too many things that I really dislike about Colombia that I would like really never consider like living there. Like the unsafety, the like anxiety, I don't really like, because I feel like also part of what makes a country is the culture, and like most of the music, most of the cinema that I love, most of the I don't know, even the language. Like I feel more comfortable speaking in English than in Spanish. Like I don't know, I feel like I can talk more, express myself more, and so yeah, like I just really don't like Colombia. And again, it's beautiful. Like the place itself is beautiful. The nature, the mountains, like again, maybe in some future when there's like a better government, that'll be cool. But for now, it's I don't know. I feel like anxious almost thinking about Colombia. Like I really dislike it. I feel really unsafe there. Yeah.
I guess I missed the main question. What makes you feel home? You said like you said that where you feel comfortable, but still there's some reason or some environment that makes you feel comfortable, right? What is it that makes you feel home?
I really feel like that is a feeling, and the feelings come from my head. Like I don't really feel like it's associated, or I don't know, because not even like people. Because yeah, I mean, again, I love my mom and stuff, and my dad and my friends, but I don't really like need them for like to feel comfortable. Because sometimes I can be comfortable by myself, and the place like not also like I don't know. It's just like again, I feel like I can find ways to like suffer a lot of love, like everything. So like I can, yeah. Sometimes I just don't like people, and sometimes I don't like a place, and sometimes I love it. So I feel like the feeling is not like associated to something outside of me, but it's like I don't know, inside of me. Like it's however I decide to view things. Yeah, my perspective. Yeah.
Don't you think that it has some reasons? Like your feeling is like, for example, I feel comfortable because I know the chair is comfortable and I don't feel cold or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
so
yeah, for sure. Like
makes you feel that.
I mean, pretty places and cool people. When I go to like a place that has like I don't know, cool aesthetic, like architecturally or whatever. Like I mean, I love these like architectural digest videos on YouTube where like they do tours of homes of people. Then like I'll see like I have in my head like all these aesthetics of how I would like to decorate my home. Because yeah, sure, like you feel more comfortable in like certain aesthetic, certain things. Because, if this place, I don't know, had like a black wall and, I don't know, like broken down or, something horrible, I would feel uncomfortable in this place. But no, this place is actually quite cool. The table, the colors, the chairs, are kind of messy, but are kind of like, different colors, but in like a messy aesthetic kind of thing. And what was I going to say? Also for the people, right, yeah, like, again, I've moved so many places, like in Colombia, US, Malta, blah, 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 and like I've traveled so much and I've met so many people and stopped speaking to so many people. I feel like it's just like the initial vibe of, and if you like them or not. And then, yeah, I've just like constantly like so much like initiated relationships and ended, and relationships in the broad sense, not just girlfriend, boyfriend, but like, friends, family, whatever. Like I've initiated and ended so many relationships that to me, like, I don't feel like I have like really, like, if there's only a few special people. But even then, I don't feel like really a sense of attachment to them or like a need. Although, probably deeply, because, of course, if my mom died, that would like hurt me a lot, and I'd probably like lose a sense of home there, because, yeah. I feel like, yeah, it's more like, again, not, if she's somewhere like in the country, yeah. I feel like if she died, that'd be something different, because then it's like, again, then I cannot even contact her with my phone, like, maybe not even a Ouija board. I feel like that would be, maybe death is the only thing that like separates, that like truly would like separate or end my home. Or like, yeah, like a tragic, if I heard that like Bogota got burned down or something, like got hit by a meteorite, yeah, I feel like death is like the end of home. But aside from that, yeah, like as far as you can meet people, and I feel like, again, I've moved to so many places, I feel like you can find cool people anywhere and cool places anywhere. Yeah, so I don't literally get attached to any place. Yeah.
Cool. Anything else you want to add?
No, yeah, just that, like, I feel like it's all in your head, how you decide to see things. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.